In today's video, we're checking out the Kernom MOHO. This is made in France and it gives us all the classic fuzz tones in a single pedal thanks to this mood control over here. I'll give you a full rundown of this in just a moment. You might remember that I reviewed the Kernom Ridge not long ago. This is the overdrive and distortion option, whereas this is a dedicated fuzz pedal. Also has some ring modulation built into it as well, which we'll get to throughout this video. Before we get into it, a huge thank you to Kernom for sending this out to the channel for the review. I really appreciate it. If you want to check this out, I'll link it down in the description box below. Here we go. Here's the Kernom MOHO up close. I'll just give you a quick rundown of how this works. So first up, we're going to take a look at this mood control over here. Now just know, just moving it a little bit like this will drastically change the tone of the fuzz. So always keep that in mind. It's not like you get the same sound from here to here and then the same sound from here to here. There's lots of different options in the whole entire sweep on each section. So yeah, there's plenty of different fuzz combinations. Just to give you a quick overview of the mood control, everywhere in this first position here gives us the early fuzz sounds, and then we get into the vintage psychedelic era, which I think rocks. It's awesome if you're a sort of Hendrix fan or Cream or whatever. To go up to here, we're getting our grunge tones, which I think sound pretty great as well. We've got the edgy modern high gain territory on this fourth position, and once we get over to 5, we're entering the ring modulation zone. Stay tuned for that. The fuzz control is our gain control, so the further we turn it up, the more gain we're going to get. Over here we have our master output volume, so if you need to turn your pedal up or down to the output of your amplifier, you can do so just by using this control. We get 2 tone controls here. The post-tone control works after the fuzz signal, allowing you to get an either fat or really nice bright sound depending on where you have it. The pre-tone control works like most tone controls do on a pedal. It just adds less or more brightness depending on where you have it set. The electricity control over here is essentially an octaver. So if we bring it down this way, it's going to bring in lower frequencies. And if we bring it up this way, it's going to bring higher frequencies into our guitar signal. If you want the most neutral position, just keep it in the center. Our on-off switch is on this side, and we get to store a single preset in the pedal thanks to this preset button, and I'll show you how to do that in this video. I'll have that section timestamped below. On the back of the pedal here, we've got our guitar in and audio output to our amplifier. We can also use this with an expression pedal, and it also has mini connectivity, allowing you to recall up to 128 different presets. We also get a 9-volt DC input over here, just your standard Boss or 9-volt power supply you'd use for most pedals. The Kernom MOHO is made in France, and it's exactly the same size, weight and form factor as the Kernom Ridge, which I showcased a little while ago, which does the overdrive and distortion tones and also clean boost. But this is a dedicated fuzz pedal that also gets into that ring modulation setting. I'll timestamp everything down below if you want to skip ahead, back or forth, or whatever the case may be. But a massive thanks again to Kernom for sending this out. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to start by showcasing the mood control. Now, with it all the way to the left, we're getting some of the classic vintage fuzz tones, and as we start turning it to the right, it's going to get incrementally more crazy. It's pretty fun. I'm plugged into the Marshall DSL 40CR back here on the clean channel. This is my bridge pickup. Pedal on, here we go. Feels great to play, and if I turn down, it still cleans up beautifully. I'm just going to play some single note runs now and showcase this electricity control. So as I bring it to the left, it's going to bring in a lower octave. The track's pretty great, and if I bring it to the other side, it's going to bring in an upper octave. And now the fuzz all the way up. Have a listen. So you get plenty out of this effects pedal, and that's just the first setting. Keeping with the mood control still in that first position, I'm able to get that really classic running out of voltage fuzz tone. Have a listen to this. Volume down. So you get a lot out of it just by using your volume on your guitar, which is pretty cool. I'm just going to turn the fuzz down. We'll bring in some lower octave now. Let's have a listen to this. Volume on. So as you can no doubt tell, just by moving the controls around, I can get vastly different sounds with exactly the same setting on the mood control. This is pretty cool. And now with the mood control within that second position, which is giving us the classic sort of vintage psychedelic era fuzz tones. I'm going to start with my volume all the way up. Just note, I have turned the post-tone control up just for a little bit of additional brightness. Here we go. Volume control down. Yeah, this one's throwing a lot of gain at you, so it doesn't clean up quite as well as some of the others, but yeah, you can still make it work. I've been playing overdrive for so long. You know what? Fuzz is kind of fun. That's great. With the mood control in the third position, I'm able to get some really great grungy sort of sounds. Now, by using my volume control, I can completely change the dynamics of this pedal. Have a listen. So we're going to start with the volume control down to begin with. I mean, that's awesome, right? So yeah, if you're into that era of music, then you can get some really great tones out of this pedal. Let's try some of these modern edgy fuzz tones now. I'm also going to experiment a little bit more with the tone controls because you can make this sound completely different. So this is how it sounds on the bridge pickup. It's got sustain for days. Now, if I just use my volume control again, let's see how it cleans up. So where I've got the mood control right now, you can hear that sort of digital octave coming in. It's pretty cool, but we can add more of that if we use this. Let's have a listen. Volume control down. I mean, there you go, right? That gives you so many different types of fuzz tones. The possibilities with this thing is almost limitless. Well, there's probably a finite combination, but yeah, you get my point. And lastly, over to position 5, which is the ring modulation zone. I'm in trouble. Anyway, I'm going to give it a go. So by keeping the mood control closer to the top of the start of this 5th position, you can basically get some really musical stuff that still gives you some of your guitar tone. And then as we sort of turn it clockwise, it's going to get crazier. Let's have a listen. Oh man, oh, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So I played the same thing over and over so you get a good sense of just how quickly your guitar tone disappears when you start bringing in that ring modulation. I mean, that is absolutely insane. Let us know what you think. And lastly, I just wanted to quickly show you how to store your very own preset. Now, if you've got a MIDI controller, you can recall up to 128 different presets, but you've got a left-hand side button over here allowing you to store at least one into the pedal, which is cool. So here we go. So I'm happy with that tone. It works for what I like. Now all you have to do is hold down this preset button over here until it blinks and you've got it saved. Now if I happen to knock the controls or whatever and it changes the sound, I can bring it back just by tapping the preset button. Let's wrap this video up. I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the Kernom MOHO, and a massive thanks to the guys from Kernom in France for sending this out. I really appreciate it. Now, if you saw my review of the Kernom Ridge, they're identical in terms of their size, weight, and form factor, which is awesome. Now, if you're more partial to overdrive and distortions with some clean boost thrown in, get the Ridge. The Ridge is the way to go. This thing basically has all the classic circuits in one. But if you're into fuzz, this has all the classic circuits in one as well. So you're getting a whole lot of pedal for the price. Now, while these aren't the most inexpensive pedals on the market, if you think about how many fuzz pedals you would need to get all of what this does, it's really great value, and you'll never need another fuzz pedal because it does it all. And if you have a MIDI controller and you want to store up to 128 presets, you can do so. So this offers a whole lot of really great tones and value long term, because I'll tell you'll probably never watch another fuzz pedal video because this will do it all. Just to let you know, this did take me a couple of days to really get my head around all the different tones and options thanks to that mood control, but there's definitely something in here for everybody, which I really like. Now, while it does take up a little bit of real estate on your pedal board due to the physical size, I don't think it's too big. It's definitely not as big as other pedals I've showcased on the channel. And again, if you already have the Ridge, you know, look at that, they match beautifully on a board. They've got top mounted jacks, so no problems with spacing there whatsoever. But yeah, killer pedal. If you want to check this out, I'll link it down below, and a massive thanks to Kernom for sending out their MOHO Fuzz Pedal. And let us know what you thought of those crazy ring modulator tones. I tried my best, come on. All right guys, take it easy. Catch you soon. See ya.